Hey guys, and welcome back. So now we want to continue working on this, and the main part that I'd like to fix is the boundaries, and we want this to be as flat as possible, and we're gonna try and find a way to fix this stepping here and have a perfect boundaries for this. So the first thing we want to do is we need to convert this into a mesh. I'm going to use that using convert VDB. I'm going to add a little bit of adaptivity so that we have less resolution in the mesh. It doesn't sacrifice details or anything, just make it optimized. So for example, anything that is flat is going to have flat polygons, and then whenever there is details, they're going to have the logic is going to place points as needed. Let me delete this. And what I have here is the sim area. So I made a box that matches the domain of our sim, which is this. And what I want to do is I want to create a slice here that I can use to create a mask onto the geometry. So I'm gonna clip the geometry. Just put down a clip node. I'm gonna delete non-selected, so this is clipping it at 0, and I don't need the bottom polygon, so I'm gonna delete it, and then I'm gonna copy this and move it down and change it to delete above. So now I have a slice like this, and I'm gonna scatter or let's see, yeah, I'm gonna scatter a lot of points here, and let's turn off seed, sorry, the relaxation. I'm gonna create a color node, set this to white. I'm gonna use an attribute transfer and transfer and transfer to the geometry from this. But first we have to set the colors to black in the original geometry. And what I'm going to do is, let me cancel this. It's a bit slow, it's getting slow to work with all this resolution. Okay, so let me do a VDB resample, and I'm gonna scale the voxels by 3. Let's wait for this. Okay, so we have less voxels to work with, and now the mesh should be a lot lighter. Cool. And let's put down a color node. Set this to black, and let's transfer now. Okay, so I want to transfer the color only, and I'm gonna reduce the distance. So here I'm gonna set this to 0.75, and then we want some blending. I set this to 3.5, and this is our first mask, and then I want to isolate this, or mask it so that it only happens in this region, this part. So let's dive inside. Let's create a vector to float and fit range the height to get the mask that we want. Okay, so let's set this to -0.6 and this to -0.5. Yep. And let's multiply it with the existing color. Cool. Now we have our mask, and we're going to use an attribute wrangle. And let me check. No need for an attribute wrangle. Actually, let's do it with an attribute wrangle. Sorry. Sorry about that. I had to check something really quick. And so the idea is we want to flatten this out and basically get everything in this area to be of the same height. So I'm gonna dive inside and I'm gonna create a vector to float and then a float to vector, and I'll explain in a second. I'm going to flatten everything to 0 on the y-axis. So let's plug this into the point position, and now everything is flattened. Okay, but I don't want this to happen everywhere. I'm going to use a mix node and mix between the original position, the new position where the y is at 0, and then I'm going to use this as the mask. Let me turn this off. Let me connect this. So if we compare now, before is this, and then after is this. So anything that gets near this region is going to be flattened. And it let me work on the blend a bit more. So I'm gonna lower this to 0.5, maybe 0.1, and this is it's a linear transition right now, so we could get a soft, very nice transition between the two parts. It's not going to be sharp or anything like that. And I'm going to set this back to their original values. I think 0.75. Yeah, 0.75. And this is our fixed geometry. Cool. So we still have a few more things to do. Let me put down a delete node. Attribute delete. I'm going to delete the color attribute. Okay. It's a point attribute. And remember, we did the VDB resample. And we still have one more thing that we like to do to improve the domain or the boundaries here, and we're going to do that in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in a bit.